We're doing a session on nutrition for the drivers and sort of the world of sports science for drivers as well. So looking now at fueling champions, we just want to really sort of get them to understand that there's more to being in motorsport than just being in the car. There's a whole world outside of it, and that nutrition plays a really important part in like racing performance. And so we've been doing a little cue card activity. So we've had 30 facts and 30 foods. We've just had them sort of have to match and pair up the right ones. We've had a few sort of controversial ones in there. So we put like, this food does or doesn't belong on pizza, which is pineapple. So there's been a few arguments about that sort of thing. And then obviously some really basic ones about this has vitamin A, this has whatever. Just get them to realise that there are so many different ways of getting your nutrients in. And then sort of we did a brief spiel on careers as well, so how to get into sports science, how to get into nutrition if they want to go down that path, and just sort of open their eyes to different parts of the world of motorsport, basically.
Really important question.
Yep.
What is your opinion of pineapples on a pizza?
I'll probably get a lot of hate for this, but I'm for it. I'm in support of it.
I'm pineapple on a pizza.
When I was a kid, it was my favourite pizza. It was a Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah.
Ham and pineapple. You couldn't go
Why
wrong.
not?
I know, you couldn't go wrong, but I'll get a bit of hate for it probably.
Broccoli.
Broccoli, yeah. So there was one about man-made vegetable high in folate, which is broccoli, and then another sort of more of a personal opinion disagreement one, which was the world's most hated vegetable, in quotations, which we went with Brussels sprouts.
I love Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, so you would have been in disagreement, but that's, you know, just there's some in there that are a bit more fun and some that are actually like hard nutrition knowledge.
Just like little cabbages.
Yeah, but I agree with the cue card. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Pineapple on pizza, but not Brussels sprouts.
So I heard you chatting a little bit earlier about you're not just sort of motorsport. You have something to do with Loughborough. Is that or football? I don't know if it was Loughborough Football Club or a football club close by to there.
So it was while I was doing my master's degree at Loughborough. I did a bit of work for the Loughborough rugby team, but I was on work experience there as a nutritionist, and then I also had a job working on behalf of the Premier League. So I went into different Premier League academies and we did a bunch of like battery testing for the academy players, just to sort of see their progressions and monitor their progressions, and then the Premier League use that data for their own research and all those kind of things.
Okay, and is that something that you're explaining to the guests we have today?
Yeah, I mean, it's something completely different to what I do at the moment. It's not nutrition based at all, but it was really interesting in the, just a different side of it. Getting to go into, as a football fan myself, getting to go to different Premier League academies was a pinch myself moment a lot of the time. I'm a Wolves fan, and my first one I got to go to was at Wolverhampton.
Oh,
so that was
dream come true.
Yeah, exactly. I sort of peaked at the start, I would say. But yeah, just letting them know like sports science has so many different avenues that you can go down. There's not just nutrition, there's the strength and conditioning, there's psychology, there's data analysis. All these are the different types of things that are really valuable in sport and sometimes don't quite get as much exposure as they do in other sports.
So if you do sports science as a degree,
yeah.
Do you cover all of those bases that you've just said, or can you specialise, or is that just through modules? So if you're explaining to somebody that's quite interested in doing your job,
yeah.
What's your advice?
So my advice is to start with a degree in sports science. If you're not, you want to work in sport, but you're not entirely sure whereabouts or what role, do a degree in sports science because it's broad, and you drop in and you learn about lots of different things, and you get quite a broad idea, and then you can specialise within like a little bit with your undergrad, but then you can just sort of go, like for me it was in third year I chose a module. I was like, I really actually like that, I'm really interested in that. So it wasn't until third year I decided to do a master's.
So how's the interaction been today?
Really good actually, they've enjoyed it. Quiet and attentive when I was doing the sort of presentation at the start, but then you get them into having conversations, and once they start disagreeing with each other, then it's sort of the engagement goes from there really. And there's been a lot of energy in the room, but where we're sat, we can see the track out the window, so it's been hard to keep eyes on the nutrition because obviously the track it's much more exciting. It is much more exciting.
And have you felt that anybody's had an interest that they might potentially follow in your footsteps?
There was a few interesting faces. One of them said that he does want to be a chef when he's older, so he was saying that he was finding it quite valuable. So might not be in the world of sports science and motorsport, but still valuable knowledge for him to take on.
And I think I've spoken to that young man as well, so yeah.
So there you go.
Oh, well, thank you so
No
much
problem
for
at all.
chatting,
No worries.
and good luck for the rest of the day.
Thank you.